Hey guys, long time no see. Oh, hi Joey. Wow, he was closer to me than I was expecting. I feel like I've introduced you guys to Joey. He's very touchy and lovable, super snuggly and cute. Joe. It has been a very long time, probably 6 months or so, I think at this point. Right, Joe? He's nodding. And I owe you guys a catch up. I want to start by saying I took some time away from the vlog. I've had a very long year with some personal health issues. I got diagnosed with an autoimmune disease and I've been dealing with that just in all openness. No, Joe. I'm gonna put him away in a second. And also, I just needed to take some time for my mental health to deal with my health issues. And I believe I have mentioned before, but I started my own business this year. So things were just kind of crazy and I haven't had time to do vlogging, nor really the energy and enthusiasm to do it. And I'm a very open book kind of person, and if I don't feel like I'm being real in my vlogs, then I'm not gonna do them. So I just took some time away. That being said, I have had a lot of people that follow me on Instagram ask for updates on Z. And I finally felt like this week I'm hopefully kind of turning a corner with my personal health stuff. And I had a little bit of energy and the weather is lovely. So I said, you know, I should film a vlog and for just the faithful followers, tell everyone what's been going on with Z. So that's what we're gonna do today. I'm gonna put Joey away and get Z out and we're gonna update you guys on everything Z. And if you're not here for my long podcast type vlog about Z and all of the crazy stuff that's happened this year, then maybe this vlog isn't for you. I'm coming. I just magna waved and stretched Joey and he's had it. But let's jump right in with that. And if you're interested, then this vlog's for you. Hey, can you come show everyone your new body? Maybe, maybe not. Beep, beep. Hello. Okay, so I'm gonna call this a walking and talking kind of vlog today. I apologize, I lost my infamous shelf, but I'll try to talk really loud so you can hear me. At least the fans aren't on today. Hi. Z and I have been on a journey the last year. I'm gonna kind of groom him as we go along, and then I have to take him for a walk, and I was gonna literally walk and talk with you guys. So right before Thanksgiving of last year, Z came out one day, and I actually was just gonna lunge him anyways. I had ridden him a couple days before, and he'd been great, and he came out on the lunge, and he was slamming on the brakes, bucking, and he just wasn't himself suddenly. I honestly kind of assumed he fell in the paddock. I don't actually know for sure if that is what happened, and we will never know. It could have not been anything specific, to be completely honest. But it's just like one day, his back was tweaked. And I felt very strongly, very early on, that my gut said he had pinched nerves. Now, I do realize this is a very strong opinion to have. I am not a vet, and this was before I even went to massage school. So it's a little left field, but I felt very strongly that he had a pinched nerve. I texted my vet right away telling them what was going on, And my vet, who was in the middle of starting her own practice, was like, I should be home from Florida around Thanksgiving, hang tight. And I'm very particular about who comes to see him because I just feel like you have to know his case and be very invested at this point, right? So, unfortunately, things kind of fell apart for my vet to come because of what was going on with her new practice down south. She goes to Wellington in the winter. So, unfortunately, she texts me and tells me that she can't come until probably late Christmas break. And at this point, I'm like, it's fine. He was gonna get a vacation anyway. So we're just gonna give him downtime. He was gonna get a couple months off after Kentucky, whatever. I had just been doing flat work with him because it was so nice outside. So he is completely off, like meaning no work for like 2 months. Don't do anything, let him sit. December rolls around. Unfortunately, again, my vet is not going to be able to make it. Things are just kind of haywire for her. They didn't have a truck up here to come work on horses up here, so they just were staying in Wellington at the time while they got everything sorted out with their practice. In December, because of this, I'm like, well, someone needs to come see him because something's going on. And even though he's doing nothing, I want to get to the bottom of this. So I had another reputable vet in the area who some friends had used come out. And he was lovely and kind. And he said, let's inject his back in SI. Don't disagree with him at this point. Up until this point, when Z's had a weird reaction behind before, we do always need to inject his SI and whatever, we move on. He gets better. So we inject them one at a time separately to see if there's any improvement. No improvement with the back. We inject the SI, no improvement with the SI. This vet so kindly was like, we should inject the hocks. And I was like, I'm actually gonna put a pause on that because he's in so much pain. I don't see how just injecting his hocks at this point is gonna solve the problem. I'm gonna insert a little video in here of Z in the wash stall in, it was either, I don't know, January, February, I'll look. And in the dead of winter, when it was that cold, he was so miserable that there was a time when I thought I was gonna have to call the vet and put him down because he was so uncomfortable. I'm gonna put this video in real quick. So obviously he's in a lot of pain. I can't even really touch him. I called my vet down in Florida. I sent her the video that I just shared. I'm in tears. And I say, I'm feeling like I can't solve these pain issues and we may have to put him down. Do you have any suggestions on what we can do to get him comfortable right now while we get to the bottom of this? She sends me some pretty high doses of gabapentin. And she's like, let's just try to knock the pain out. Sorry, I paused on my story because I'm obviously getting him ready for walking. Let me just show you guys a quick body update. Oh no, the focus is not doing so great. I'm gonna put a picture in here. You're okay. Come on, buddy. So my vet put him on a pretty high dose of gabapentin. That seemed to make him at least more comfortable, where he was just not standing around in pain. Over the winter, December, January, February, I went to equine massage therapist school, and I got really invested in learning about body work and massage, trying to get to the bottom of what was going on with his body. And I have continued to work on horses since then, I really enjoyed the school, and I got to go down for a week of intense in-person learning in Wellington, and it was so great. Okay, we're gonna keep walking now. So anyways, I got really inspired to try to get to the bottom of what was going on with his body. As you guys know from previously, I had already been pretty invested in the balance through movement method, and I had been doing that with him. So all winter long, we did our pillar work, we did hand walking every day, I kept him moving, and then he was on gabapentin. I decided sometime along the way to dig into the feet. We took his shoes off. I think that was the last update that I gave you guys. Maybe he's been barefoot. And after I took his hind shoes off, he was laying down sleeping. So I really felt like we had gotten somewhere with all of that. Holding the camera like this is gonna hurt my arm, but we're gonna roll with it. I had to move out of the ring so that they could drag. Now we're attempting to walk outside. Come on, buddy. Let's go. I know. Come on. No matter how much fly spray you put on this time of the year, the flies are dying and they're brutal and they bite. But we'll see how this goes. So, barefoot, Z, me doing bodywork massage on him every week. And when my vet got here from Florida, she's so lovely, she came out and saw him. And I was like, I've basically given up and retired him at this point because at least he's comfortable and pasture sound. And she was like, cool. And I'm like, cool. She agreed that the feet were a big part of the problem, that they were causing him a lot more body pain on top of his arthritis. And I told her, I'm like, I'm just gonna rehab the feet this summer and we'll see where we're at. So I had a dentist out, a new dentist this summer who was so lovely. And I was talking to her about my horse and what's been going on with him. And she said, you should call this vet that worked with Dr. DeClue, who runs a podcast called The Horse First, which I listened to and is very intriguing. I knew I was going to cave and let him eat grass, but this is a good moment to show you how good he looks. He's getting his winter coat. He looks fantastic right now. And he has really good weight on BioStar forage and no grain. Incredible. This is the problem with walking him in the field, though, is that he wants to stop for snacks the whole time. So this dentist is like, you know, you should really connect. I've told everyone excessively that I believe this is a nerve issue, that he has pinched or damaged nerves in his back near where his kissing spine is, and no matter how much you inject it anymore, it doesn't matter, it's a nerve problem. And the dentist was listening to me, also a fan of, tell her about Z, also a fan of Dr. DeClue's podcast. And because she was so lovely, she did some awesome like pole and TMJ work before she did the dental work. And she was like, you know, you need to connect with this vet in this area that worked with Dr. DeClue. So I call this vet, and somebody actually had given me this vet's name in the winter when all this was going on, but she was in Florida because she goes to Florida with Dr. DeClue in the wintertime. And I send her a text and I'm like, this is what's going on with my horse. Can I schedule a consult with you? And she comes out and she's like, I agree with you 100%. Okay, we have to keep walking. This is just excessive. Come on. Talk about things that are not safe, and it's walking around with this rope around my neck, basically. Not actually, but sort of. Okay, so this lovely vet agrees with me 100% right away. She's like, oh my goodness, this is a nerve problem. She's been working on cases like shivers and string halt and nerve pain related problems. And she agrees with me that the horse body condition is good, soundness, limb soundness is good, but he's body lame and has a nerve issue. Nerve related pain, I should say, not a nerve issue. And she is like, I have a plan. For all of the groundwork and discipline type training that I do, my horse is not good at walking in the grass. He wants to eat grass, which I mean most horses do, but it's so rude. Okay, so this lovely vet tells me, she's like, we can inject the nerves and nerve roots in his back and treat his nerve pain. Granted, this is still management. It's not a cure for what's going on. We're still managing the pain. However, he's at a place in his life where no matter how much injections we were doing and taking away the pain, the nerves are still firing and telling him that there's pain, and he still has a nerve response. So her plan of action was to basically try to reset those nerves with something called Sarracenia, which is like a pitcher plant derivative. So they don't inject steroid. Goodness, I am falling apart. I don't know how Carl Cook walks and talks all the time. It's so hard to hold the horse and the camera. I mean, he's not usually walking with a horse, but Sarracenia, pitcher plant. In humans, they use something called I think it's called Serapin, to treat the nerves and the nerve roots and nerve pain. So same idea. We're just now starting to learn and experiment with it with horses. I think this is like pretty new type of stuff that people are doing. I don't know any regular vets around here that are doing it. I'm gonna link Dr. DeClue's podcast down below. I find it really fascinating. Sure, a little bit, I know. The woods and the deer are scary. Sometimes her ideas are out there and far-fetched, right? But, you know, that's how we learn, and I like it. I'm gonna link a specific podcast that she put out recently that talks about nerve pain, and I think if you're interested at all, you should listen. So, anyways, back to Z. As we continue to huff and puff our way around the field, walking in the ring is much more civilized. I'm not gonna lie. So, we injected his back, which I wouldn't say was cheap doing this procedure. I feel like if I don't cut this stuff out, it just gets insane. I'm just gonna let him sit for a second. I'm dying. So we did this procedure about, I don't know, 7-8 weeks ago now. And he had his recheck at 4-ish weeks. And she said his back, as you can see, it's visibly improved. His back was 50% better on the right side, probably 60 to 70% better on the left side. We decided that we're gonna treat the nerves in his back again, but before doing that, we've been shock waving his thoracic sling because he is a chronic sleep deprivation case, if you know anything about horses with problems like that. And he has laid down to sleep a few times, but he's still not at ideal comfort. Also, about 4 weeks ago, his feet up front were getting sore from the hard ground barefoot, so I put him back in plain steel shoes to keep him comfortable so that he could do his rehab work on the ground. He's been in a lunging rehab protocol. And so we are shock waving the thoracic sling to kind of see if that helps get him a little more comfortable in the front end so that maybe he's laying down. And then we're going to treat his back again and kind of go from there. There's been a lot of people that have asked me about him, which is why I know I've posted, if you follow me on Instagram, I've posted some random things about him without any real detail. So I thought I would do a deep dive for those that are interested in knowing everything. And I'm happy to answer questions. I'm by no means an expert. I am just trying to fix this horse and learning along the way and doing the best I can. And I want to share information with people if it might be helpful, because I think there's a lot of horses out there in nerve pain. And I think nerve pain and body lameness gets worse over time and is often behavioral and postural, all of these things. And I want to help educate other people on it as I'm learning. I, again, am by no means an expert, and I am working with multiple vets on everything. But I always want to be really open and honest with people and real, and I wanted to share kind of what's been going on. Obviously, this has all been really expensive. It's not for everyone to dive down this road, but I'm happy to answer any questions. He gets his back re-injected next week, and then I will update from there, but that is what's been going on. We're almost at the year mark now from this all happening in the beginning, and I just felt like I needed to dump it all somewhere. So, thanks for listening to my walking and talking vlog, which was like a podcast. If you're invested in that kind of stuff and you're invested in Z, then maybe it was super interesting for you to watch. And if not, oh well. I can at least share it with those of you that are invested and have asked. So, thanks for listening, and thanks for checking in. For all of you that do follow me on Instagram and you have checked in on Z and I and sent us kind words and thoughts, I so appreciate it. It means a lot to us. And he's been really happy lately since we did his back, and I'm excited. I'm gonna throw some footage in of him going after he got his back done. And yeah, stay tuned for a future update. And I apologize for being MIA this year. I think it's been a weird year for a lot of people. So, sending good vibes to everyone out there. I know my friends have all been in a similar spot. And I'll see you guys soon. Bye. Hey, Canter. Go. Go. Go, buddy.